I feel like my brain was off, and that's hard to explain, but I felt like cognitively my mind was slower. I wasn't reacting to things as quick. And I know that one of the symptoms of having low B12 is fatigue or whatever.
On the B12, what kind of got me concerned and got me to like go ahead and, get the shot was, I feel like mentally it was like my brain was reacting slower, and I think like my short-term memory was affected. I felt like I couldn't remember things, or just like holding on to information as like just like at work, or just like, I don't know, going to the store, or like what was I going to pick up? Like my short-term memory was like affected like severely, and for it was like 2 weeks, or like I just felt like not myself, and I was just like weighed down. Didn't go to the gym for several weeks, was like putting it off, low energy, couldn't remember anything. Like I've been like, if I wasn't working, I was like on the couch just like vegging out. And I was like, this is not me. Something is wrong besides me being tired. And it's not like, it wasn't that I wasn't getting enough sleep. It was just as soon as I exerted any sort of mental energy or just put something out in the world, I would just like be done, and my brain would be done and couldn't. We just did not want to function. I couldn't really explain that. So don't know necessarily what it is. I could have waited to go because I have my whatever checkup, 6-month checkup or whatever in a few weeks. So I guess I could have waited to talk to my doctor about it, but I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna go ahead and try all these different things and see if I feel better.
And I think this was like back in April, so I think I've known for a while, and in that, like, I guess it captured the B12, which when I do my labs normally from just like my regular annual whatever test, it doesn't have B12 because they just like order the base level test. And this was for something else completely different. And then instead of, taking a second test for my primary, I decided that why not just email my primary, my results. And so like I pulled them off like the website or like the portal, and I started reading through it. And lo and behold, it got down to B12. And of course that caught my attention because you talk about it all the time. And I was like, oh crap. I have like, I'm low. And it wasn't like terribly low, but it definitely wasn't in the like average range. So what else? So I waited for a while. I didn't like jump right into it. I just like kept in the back of my mind, but recently I just felt like I feel like my brain was off, and that's hard to explain, but I felt like cognitively my mind was slower. I wasn't reacting to things as quick, and I know that one of the symptoms of like having low B12 is fatigue or whatever. So I decided to try that in iron at the same time. So I don't know if it's like the B12 per se, but because I'm just dumping a bunch of like vitamins in my system, getting a bunch of sun in these last couple days, getting out to see if that helps. And I already do feel a little bit better because I feel like I just couldn't go to the gym and like do the same.
So yeah, I did that. And I think I don't know if it's also because like one of the things that like we were working on is like I had higher levels of testosterone, so I've been taking estrogen to help balance it out, which now I'm like, oh, this sucks because like I can't lift as heavy like when I'm in the gym, but I'll build that back up. So like I think, I don't know if it's like putting like putting new stuff in like my body, that it was just like thrown off, and I had to like rebalance out all the levels of everything. Who knows, that could have been a factor. And I guess that makes sense like with the iron, but I actually haven't, like I started on vitamins, but I don't think I've put like tons of iron in my body in the last couple days. As far as like eating meat, yes, I do eat meat, but I've also been eating healthier, so I don't eat as much. So I wonder if I'm not getting as much B12 as I used to, and that could be the problem, or that could have been the issue too. Overall, like, I feel more like myself, like more back like in the game, like my mind's sharp, I can like wake up on time and like get moving. So ultimately, whatever it is, it's working. I feel a lot. Yeah, and about like the doctor thing, yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword. I think it's more than just like the doctors themselves. I think it's the whole medical system, because they're put under a lot of pressure to, you know, see so many patients, to make so many diagnoses, to move people through, that there isn't enough time in their day. And I just, you know, there's like this Instagram post, I'll have to find it, where this financial guy was actually breaking it down. He was like, well, you know, doctors make X amount of money a year, and you think that's great until you like break down that they're working like 60 to 80 hours and they're doing XYZ. And so like really when you calculate it and you like pan it out, they're making a lot of money, but they're not, because the amount of time they actually spend working is insane. And then if you add on like the studies of like how long you should be like just mentally should be like working, and how that causes, you know, you to like lose focus or pay attention to details or whatever, you add that all in, like it's like a systematic thing that's like burning, you know, people out. It's not, the system isn't working, and in the system, the medical system itself is also what's failing people, and not just like doctors who are not necessarily, you know, trying to ignore or like misdiagnose patients. But yeah, it's a thing.